Hey Rennie, so this is your second workflow. Do the cars video first, as always. This one's focused on your shoulder or spine. So do more of the shoulder and spine ones. You can leave out the hip ones or just do 1 or 2 reps kind of thing, okay? So we're gonna start with that. We've done our cars. Now we're gonna do some capsule preloading, and we're gonna do it in internal rotation and external rotation behind our back. So what you're gonna do, you can do this kneeling or standing, whatever suits you, is you're gonna take both your hands, we're gonna pop them behind our back, and we're gonna inch them up to the level that we can handle, so the end range. So I'm here, and then what I'm doing is I'm allowing my shoulders to roll forward, and then I'm getting this stretch, the front of my shoulder here. So you wanna be inching your hands up so you're really at your end range there. So to do the 10-10-10, we hang out here for 10 seconds, nice and relaxed. Then we're gonna do 10-second contraction inwards. So my hands are gonna try and push into my back. Hold that, so we're gonna ramp that up, ramping up 10%, 20, 40, 60, up to your greatest effort, and then hold for 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to do my rails, which is I'm going to try and lift off. So think about your wrist trying to lift off. They're trying to come off your back there, ramping that to your greatest effort. So your whole shoulder squeezing. So I'm just inching away from my back here like this, holding for 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let them relax. And then you do a second round. So you can pause that and do a second round there. So 10 seconds, just relax. 10 seconds contract in, 10 seconds contract off. Give you a second there. Then we're gonna do your shoulder spine extension and your cat camel actually. So we're gonna do spine extension. So we're gonna go into our cat camel as we come back here. And we're gonna come all the way down. So what I want you to think about is your whole chest, your belly, everything coming down towards the floor. Keep your elbows and knees locked. So the knees are where they are, the elbows are locked so they're not moving. And then I'm going to do a preload here again. So what you're gonna do is you're going to try to load the tissue on the front side. So my hands and knees are gonna push into the ground and towards each other as my belly pulls towards the ground, holding, ramping that up to your greatest effort. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second contraction. Hands and knees are into the ground and away. So that means that your erector spinae, the tissues on the back side of your back are contracting, trying to push you further towards the ground. Keep those elbows locked as you do it, holding for 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Then go into a little cat camel, so a really easy global cat camel, because it's a really end range stretch there. So I like to get people to do that. Good. So just round of that. Now we're going to do some capsule shoulder cars. So we're going to go on our back. I'm going to show you, so you're looking down at me so you can see both shoulders, and you can do both at the same time here. So I'm going to pop my hands here. I'll come forward a little bit. And you're just going to be on your back, knees bent, arms around 90 degrees. Create some fists, and we're going to internally rotate down. When we get to the end, squeeze a little bit. We're going to externally rotate, maintaining tension as we go back. Keep your low back flat on the ground. Externally rotating towards the ground. Squeeze at the ground. And then keep trying to maintain tension through those arms, fists. We're going to do 4 reps here. This is number 2. Squeeze at the end, slowly coming back. Keep that back flat so you're not getting your lumbar spine to try and do some of the work of your shoulder. Extending, reaching for the floor. Slowly coming up. Good, engage your core. This is number 3. Squeeze, slowly coming back. Tension-wise, around 50%. Going back. Good. Slowly coming forward. This is the last one. Good. And slowly coming back, maintaining that 50% tension through your arms, quite a lot of tension. It's actually hard work. You should be feeling like it opens up a little bit as you go through that range. Right. That's your capsule ones. Next, we're gonna do a hinged spine car. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna do your normal spine car like this, but I want you to be knees bent and hinged forward. So hip hinge, right? And then we're gonna try and do the same thing, but maintain this arch in that lower back. So I'm gonna curl myself down, rotate. When I come up, I'm gonna maintain that hinge and try and extend. So we're working on extension today in the lumbar spine. And coming around. I'm gonna do 4 reps. So 2 this way, rotating, maintaining that hinge. It's like you're maintaining a little bit of a seated chair position. Good. And up, reversing. So curling down, rotating, maintaining that hinge. Hold. Nice and slow, controlled. 30-40% contraction here. Good. That's it. Good. Hard work. Right, so now into your rotation. So we're gonna do shoulder sleeper, which is your classic shoulder sleeper. You're gonna do this on both sides. I'm gonna show you the setup, then I'll tell you to pause, and you can do both sides. So as normal, you're on your side, hips at 90, shoulder is stacked right underneath you and not hiking up towards you. So there, slightly below 90, aiming your hand towards your hip. You want to actively internally rotate. When you find that end range, then pop your hand on and you're going to hang out here for 2 minutes. In that 2 minutes, really, you can just sink a little further. Make sure your hand's not coming out, it's aiming towards your hip, and you hold there for 2 minutes. After your 2 minutes, so I'm going to tell you to pause after this, you're going to then do your 2 contractions. You're going to push straight up into your hand, but do not come out of end range. I want you to stay right here, and we're going to work really hard. So I'm going to tell you to pause now. Do that 2 full minute stretch. Make sure you do that. Tissue doesn't let go till 2 minutes. So we're coming back now after this pause, and we're going to do our pails. So we're staying here. We're going to start to push up. So I'm going to start pushing up 20, 40, 60, I want to see 80, 100%, greatest effort. When I work really hard, my feet start to come off, I'm radiating, trying to push all of my tension up into my arm, holding, greatest, safest effort for 15 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the contraction, then start to rail. Start to reach for the floor, slowly taking your hand off so it doesn't spring back. Actively, if you need to, tap underneath your arm and really reach for the floor there. Hold for 15 seconds, max effort. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I want you to do a second round. So you open up that range. Second set of passive, you're gonna hold for 1 minute. I'm gonna hang out here for 1 minute. You should really feel a stretch on that posterior tissue when you're doing that. Then you do another pails and rails at your max effort. So it's a set of 2 for the shoulder sleeper. And I'm gonna tell you pause so you can do that whole sequence on both arms, right? Okay. And now we're gonna go on to your cat camel pails rails. Right? So with your cat camel pails and rails, we're working in your extension for this one. And so this one we're going to hold for 2 minutes. So we're doing that same kind of thing what we did before. So we did a little bit of a primer where we put you into extension, but we're going to try and hold for 2 minutes. If 2 minutes is too long, that's fine. Do a minute or a little bit less to start and build back up to that, right? So we're going to go into this extension, so lower back extension. I'm going to pop my shoulders down and I can reach down here. You can either put your hands on your head, and what we're trying to do is create as much of the belly coming down. So you might need to bring your hips forward a little bit. If that's too hard or you're not feeling much arch, then do it from here. And I think sometimes it is a little bit better here. So let's just hang out here, our belly button's reaching for the floor. And I want you to think about the whole spine segmenting down and extending and reaching. So this is where we're gonna hold for our 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes, depending on what you can handle. Really thinking about that hips opening in your belly towards the ground. Right, so we're gonna do only one side of this one because it's quite hard. And so I'm gonna pause here. You do your full 1 to 2 minutes, however long you can handle. Then we're gonna do our pails. So our pails is, I'm gonna hold this extension. I'm gonna push my hands and my knees towards each other and into the ground, which is activating my abs, my frontline tissue, while I am still pushing my belly down. So we're just maintaining that extended, arched back position, holding, keep the elbows locked. Hold for 10-15 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and your rails, so pushing away, and you'll feel those erector spinae and your belly still reaching towards the floor, holding for 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And now when you come out of that, go really slow because that is a really extended position. And you need to sometimes hike a little bit, go a little bit of pelvic cars, and just do some segmental while you're here. Tucking. Be deliberate, controlled in your cars. Good. Top of the pelvis, flexing the lower back. Really focus on where you are. Good. A few reps of that, and then we'll do some seated shoulder cars just to loosen off those after we've done that shoulder sleeper. We're gonna come straight up. We're gonna externally rotate and reach back. Good, all the way back, extending, making sure you keep extending and externally rotating. Then we reach the side, extend, or internally rotating, and externally rotate and pull back around and through. I'm gonna just show you can see one. So we're gonna be going straight up into flexion. When we hit that block, we're gonna open the arms up, internally rotating and extending our shoulders. Good. Reverse, so extend and externally rotate as we start to flex and maybe duck back around to the front and down. Now we're gonna do a couple scapula iso holds, which was this trying to get that shoulder blade to move. So with that one, what I want you to do is I want you to find, we're gonna retract the shoulder and we're gonna then hold and we're gonna really try and keep pulling back, right? I'm gonna show you from the wall because this actually sometimes helps. So if I pull here, so I'm at around, yeah, perfect, you can see there. So what I'm doing is I wanna be close enough and then I'm gonna actually just pull away from the wall. So my shoulders, my hands are gonna pull away and retract, and then I'm gonna hold here for 10 seconds. Try to not let your spine and chest inch forward, holding. 5, squeezing with max effort on this isometric. 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. It's really hard. What you're doing is you're just retracting that, and we're just trying to isometrically get that and get more range with scapula. It's a little bit harder with scapula because it doesn't actually move like a lot of the other joints. Right, let's do a second round. Arms around, out in front, around 30 degrees. We're gonna retract away from the wall and pull those shoulder blades back. So retraction, hold. It should be really hard to do. I'm shaking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. I'm gonna do one where it's depression. I'll show you from the side. So we're gonna do retraction, straight back, as well as depression. So now the second one, take a breath. We're gonna pop the arms out 30 degrees and we're going to pull back a little bit, and then I really wanna focus on this depression. Shoulder blades going down, good. And then holding, hold. So squeeze those shoulders down, so they're driving down, holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Second round. It's quite hard doing these isometrics. If you're not feeling it hard, then you need to tense more. So more contraction, more radiation, the rest of your body tightening and pulling down. So last set. So pulling back, drop those scapula and pull them down. Depress them. Hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Whew. As you can see, I'm out of breath. So I'm gonna do a couple of these scapular cars, just simple ones. Just going around, low level. Good. Good. Now we're gonna do some quadruped. So same thing, that scapular motion, but in quadruped. So on your hands and knees, and we want to be kind of stacked. So we're at, so hands, lock the elbows. If you rotate the hands out a little bit, it helps you lock the elbows. Now we're going to try and move the motion. So we're going to try and retract, elevate, protract, and depress. Retract, elevate, protract, depress, and reverse. So elevate, retract, depress, protract, push away, elevate, retract, depress, push away. That's your scapular cars. Do 4 to 6 of those, and then we're going to go into our global cat camel for the last bit of this. So really close your eyes. Think about this. This is low level tension. I'm going to start by tucking my pelvis, going up towards the ceiling, segment by segment, all the way to the neck. Maintain this flexion, start to untuck the pelvis as the rest of the spine segmentally starts to follow. We get to the top, tuck the pelvis, slowly going up. And last one, untuck. And up. And that's your workflow for day 2, and I'll get to day 3 soon.